Well, boy, some people just believe there's no action from consequences, do they? What did you think was going to happen? As of course, Reuters has a very similar article here as they talk about the horrors of people being held accountable for calling for more bloodshed and violence in our political scene. This, as of course, Tim Pool came out and talked about Charlie Kirk's private security, a representative who just did an interview on the Sean Ryan show that truly created a big buzz. I believe he was sincere. I believe he answered some questions, but I believe he also opened himself up to a lot of very serious questions as well, as there's some new ones to get into. As of course, Candace Owens now is continuing on her trail of the Egyptians. What in the world is the latest surrounding that? We're going to go over that and a lot more. As of course, we have a lot to talk about, specifically when it comes to Charlie Kirk's security, the security failures, a lot of other questions that remain here. As Mike Cernovich has declared, I'm an official believer of the official version of events. He claims his argument, people, of course, contested it back. It's a very interesting conversation. We'll get into that and a lot more, all here on this independent media broadcast. This is a brand new spanking YouTube channel, so subscribe, click the notification button. We greatly appreciate all the time that you guys, of course, spend with us. Now, let's just get into the absurdity of the corporate media. Reuters here. The Charlie Kirk purge. No, it's not. It's violent, bloodthirsty, disgusting human beings that celebrated in gory, destructive, nasty ways an assassination of an innocent man, a family man, and said, good, more. I'm happy it happened. Those people got purged. Those people got dealt with. Some people say a council mob, but Reuters is saying they were punished. This was a pro-war crackdown. As of course, this is the same institution that was silent when vast majority of people on the right were purged themselves, had their lives ruined, debanked for simply saying learn to code. Right? The president of the United States couldn't have a voice on social media. Right? People, if they raised concerns about my body, my choice during the coup years, destroyed, obliterated. Doctors lost their medical licenses. Reuters was like, yay, good. Alex Jones sued for over $1 billion. Yay, good. Take away his stuff. Our side is bathing in the blood of a political opponent that we have declared war on? Oh, no. People were cracked down on. People were suspended. Oh, no. Hypocrites that have destroyed the First Amendment, and now they're saying, but the First Amendment, it's not. And again, everything has consequences, right? It's pretty clear here that we have seen very disgusting behavior by a lot of people that specifically took it upon themselves. The council mob couldn't even cancel Jimmy Kimmel, that lied about his take on this particular matter and incident. Of course, he was brought back. A lot of other people, Roseanne Barr, weren't brought back from jokes she was making. As of course, the council mob now is just absolutely on a hypocritical double standard here, and it deserves to be called out. Now, regarding Charlie Kirk, we had his chief of security suggesting that, of course, what happened that day was a lot of accidents and coincidences. And his interview with Sean Ryan, security chief Brian Horpel, a man who worked for Charlie Kirk directly, Charlie Kirk's own security company, calling him the assassin, having as much luck as he had here, quote, blind luck, that he just happened to stumble upon the vantage point where he was worried about, but police officers told him, no, we'll take care of it. And they didn't. Now, which police officer said that? There should be some accountability. There should at least be some repercussions for the police officer that was supposed to be standing there on duty, whether it's the police officer who gave the command or never did give the command. But if the officer gave the command and the officer didn't follow it, you have this huge gap in security, which any kind of security professional would say, and then you're like, oh yeah, I trust the police, which you should never do. Lots of incompetency all around here. As of course, we're being told perfect storm of incompetency, which raises more questions than answers. And this is Tim Pool responding to this Sean Ryan interview with some pointed questions that I think are worth asking.
As soon as the assassination happened, we had an assessment with my security team, and we use a couple different contractors. And the immediate question was...
Listen, I met some of these security guards myself because I'm friends with Tim, and I travel with Tim sometimes. Top-notch guys. We're talking about guys that work with the biggest celebrities. Expensive guys, right? Top of the top security guards that worked with the biggest names. Really cool guys. I hung out with some of them. I met some of them. Really nice, awesome guys.
How is this possible? Because these are the questions we have for our security. If you are told by police that they will take care of a security risk.
Yep, and then Charlie Kirk security said that was a risk on a roof. We told police officers said they would take care of it, and then we just left it. This is where the mistake was made, right? Now, before playing the rest of this clip and asking more legitimate questions about what happened here and going over Mike Cernovich and Candace Owens' type of takes on this, we just really quickly wanted to remind you, go check out thebestpoliticalshirts.com, where you can get awesome t-shirts like the one that I'm wearing right now, like this one that says Thought Criminal. When I wear this walking around, people are like, hey, what do you mean? Hey, what do you think? What's your ideas? Great way to meet like-minded people. This one has been through the ringer because it was accidentally washed, not reversible, and there's a specific way to wash them, but it looks kind of cool, even the way that it looks now. But this one has been with me for quite a while, and if you want to find it, you go to thebestpoliticalshirts.com. The link is down in the description below. You type in thought, and bada bing, bada boom, it comes up right here. It's a great way of expressing yourself. $30 for the long sleeve. We have short sleeves also available to you. We got a lot of different funny shirts meant to spark up a conversation and to get you to become more social. This is a perfect way of doing your lazy form of activism. This is a perfect way of finding like-minded individuals, finding friends, finding future loved ones, partners. This is the way to do it. You go to your bank, you go to the park, you go to the beach, you go wherever you're going, and you represent an idea that shows people that they're not alone, which I think is more important than ever to symbolize and represent. And you could do that with a lot of really great shirts, great stocking stuffers. If there ever was a crazy uncle in your life that you want to make look that much more interesting, you got to give them the women's sports one. The Latinos here in Miami are like, oh, senor, what do you mean women's sports? I'm like, listen here, lady. Hi. Some people have the guys. If you want to find like the guys that get triggered by this, oh my goodness, hilarious! You could just see it on their face. It is wonderful sometimes to just be a little bit facetious, just be a little satirical, and thebestpoliticalshirts.com does that. Go check it out and support this independent media network at the same time. Now, Tim Pool goes on here, and I think his criticism and his direct question is valid here because what we saw happen to Charlie was a massive security failure, right? There's we can point blank, oh, police officer. Okay, which police officer? I want to know which police officer got the order. Was he just lazy? Was he just incompetent? Or was there something else going on here? Because now we have to have that conversation because someone failed. And if you're a professional security team and you're like, oh, the police say they have it. All right, we'll let them have it. And you don't double check. You messed up here. You goofed up here. You made the mistake here. And I hate being so direct with it because there is a lot of emotions, a lot of care and consideration. But at least that police officer who didn't give the order or gave the order and someone didn't follow it, at least, one, give them desk duty, minimum. At least question and be like, okay, why? Were you really that incompetent? What else were you doing? Are you correlating with some foreign? Are you correlating with maybe some Egyptians? And I'm saying that facetiously, but now the dam's broken open. All these questions are more relevant than ever.
Do you ignore that risk and just say, don't worry, they got it? Unanimous consent, never. Never. Every security guy I talked to said, no, absolutely not. You hire private security for a reason, not to delegate responsibility to the public sector.
And they are extremely expensive. Extremely. Like, they cost so much money, it's crazy. Like, I look at doing some stuff, and I'm like, how much? I should probably get security because it's a dangerous, legitimate thing. How much is it? I'm like, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't have... Listen, guys, thebestpoliticalshirts.com. Hire enough, buy enough shirts. I might be able to afford a security guard once, but then, maybe.
That's not why you hire private security. You already have police security everywhere you go. We have done events where we've coordinated with local police. They're going to be there. We then hire our private security because we do not rely on the public sector.
Yeah, the public sector doesn't have a duty to protect and serve you, by the way. Police officers and police precincts have argued successfully in multiple jurisdictions that they have no legal duty to protect and serve you. And in many instances, and especially liberal locations, you see police officers literally see a crime happen. We just saw that in Dearborn, Michigan. Someone got maced. Officer was like, sorry, I can't help you. Like, literally, watch the whole thing just by. We saw somebody get punched in the face. Cops are there just watching. Okay. Continue on your way. A right-winger does something. Oh, we're arresting him right away, which is ridiculous.
No disrespect to these cops. But when he says, what am I to do? What else am I to do in command-level person from accredited police department says I've got this area?
You double-check. You double-check.
I'll tell you why people are losing their careers. Because everyone in security knows that makes no sense. I'm sitting down with a SEAL team guy, and I asked him, we pay a lot of money for the security guards. Do you delegate security responsibility ever to local police? No, we don't. If we can confirm a certain area is covered by a police officer, we may lighten in a certain degree. Like, if there's an entrance to a building and there's two cops in front of it, they'll keep an eye on it, but they don't necessarily need personnel standing at those doors if police are there. That being said, they don't just say, have a nice day. Yo, one of these security guys said to me, brother, if you put a janitor on that rooftop, Charlie would be alive.
That's true, right? He sees a random guy go up on that roof, janitor's up there, fake mopping, listen, that's true, whether you like to admit it or not, right? And this is where a lot of the kind of theories come in. This is why a lot of the questions come in. And, whether you agree that things should be questioned or not questioned, I think it's important to have these types of conversations. As of course, listen, we got to make sure this never happens again. The best way to make sure it never happens again is not to excuse your behavior, it's to take responsibility for it.
What are you paying for security for if you can't get a former cop, a military vet, someone who knows to go walk around the building?
And listen, Charlie spent a lot of money. It was Charlie's own security team. Charlie spent a lot of money on these guys. Private security is not cheap, and that's why Charlie started his own company.
What are you paying for? This doesn't make sense. Now, again, never attribute to malice that which can be explained by incompetence.
I might start my own security company. Radowski's security, right? We'll cover all that stuff.
Sounds like, and I'm not trying to be a dick, but this is a matter of life and death. It sounds like these guys, at the least, didn't do their jobs, which shocks me to my core. Not that police said, I got you covered. And this is what I've heard. This is what I've heard from everybody. This was police jurisdiction. Security stood back and told and the police said they'd take care of it. This is why you have conspiracy theories. Because I will stress this again. And you know what's funny, and I will say this for Candace Owens. I don't know how much she's talked about this because she has security too. But I'd be willing to bet any one of these guys with security, their security guards are saying, we would never do that. We don't understand what Charlie's team was doing.
Yep. Well, listen, I didn't even play this clip beforehand. Tim kind of reiterated the same point I made. Now, Mike Cernovich came out. It says, I am an official story believer of the Charlie Kirk, assassination. An unpopular position around here, but so be it. Now, to be clear, I'm not. I think there was more people involved here than just one, whether that's the radical left or some other. I think there was something else. That's just me, my inklings, my suspicions, no evidence at all, my own personal theory. He says, what I did find strange and still find bizarre is some people close to Charlie reminding the world that Charlie was pro-Israel. Why is that relevant at all? Yeah, that was extremely weird, because of course Fox ran a special. Netanyahu came out, and they're like, oh yeah, he was the biggest friend of Israel, as of course there was a lot of controversy, and he was a big supporter. Cernovich came out. Even so, I understand why most people take the other side of the issue. Belt-fed rifles were used during the Las Vegas incident. Everyone knows this, and the FBI planned the Garland, Texas incident. We can't even get these files released. Why trust anyone now? Yeah, and this is why conspiracy theories prevail on top of the Epstein files. Now, Cernovich responded to this from Sean Ryan, who interviewed the security guard who talked about how Charlie was an absolute supporter of Israel and that there were no Mossad agents or Israel foreign government involvements within his security team, and he doesn't believe Israel was involved here.
We've seen a lot of Charlie's friends, people that are in the media, come out and say Charlie had very specific concerns about Israel, and that his opinions were changing about Israel, and that he had expressed concerns about this to various media personalities. My question is the man that owns the company that's in charge of his security detail, and you are the head guy on his security detail, were there any concerns about that or any other organization, political party, foreign nation? Did he express any of those concerns to you?
No, and Dan works for Turning Point as their security guy, and so Dan feeds down that to us to our contracted security, which is us for integrity. Mm-hmm. And so nothing had ever come now from Dan, from Charlie down to us about that. Now,
Andrew Koval thought it might be a lead, and he sent text messages to the FBI highlighting how there was a lot of pressure from Israel First type of donors before the incident, and then that ended up getting leaked to Candace. Andrew confirmed that Candace text message exchange of Charlie complaining about the donors going after him.
At the same time, you got to look at the world we live in, mm-hmm. and that's a reality. It's a reality that an organization, whether it be a hate group of any type, could want to hurt anybody. Not necessarily Israel, but we look at mathematics too, and there's probabilities and possibilities, right? And I look at the probabilities. The possibilities are infinite.
Yeah. Now people make the comment, like, if it was Israel, they would have done the heart attack firearm. As the quartering came out saying, come on, Mike, you know why. It's because the largest podcast in the world has been implying him leaving the pro-Israel cause is why, quote, he was taken out. Now, he has his own type of extrapolations here. And he definitely isn't a fan of Candace. Now, Candace has come out, and she's reading an email, allegedly from a whistleblower. And again, I don't trust a lot of the anonymous sources until I actually get, like, the credentials and the verifications. They need to be verified because there's a lot of people selling a lot of disinformation, a lot of people muddying the waters, a lot of people taking a turd in the punch bowl. Overall, I think the FBI needs to do a way better job with transparency and accountability here. I think they did a horrible job with Thomas Crooks, and Tucker Carlson just humiliated them with that. And if we're not getting the Thomas Crooks truth, if we're not getting the truth about Garland, Texas, if we're not getting the truth about Las Vegas, even under this administration, you think we're getting the truth now? No. And something needs to change here for us to get all these questions, get all these answers. And this is why I choose to remain on the more skeptical side of things, right? Because we've been lied to over and over and over again. But this email whistleblower says that she believes that the FBI, Secret Service, DEA could be involved in the assassination. But, like, again, I'm going to play this video. It's a 6-minute video in another video. So subscribe, click the notification. It might be probably on our main channel, youtube.com/wearechange. If you're here on this new channel, subscribe. It really means a lot to us. I want to be here for you guys doing that. And this is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more. All here exclusively on youtube.com/wearechange.